Can you all hear me? Okay, wonderful. There were some different options are coming. Okay, now I think it's normal. Okay, very lovely to see you all again. How are you all doing? Wonderful. Everyone is fine? So great to hear. I mean, see all you. Hello, everybody. I'm just scrolling, seeing all of you. Okay, so once again, we are here. Now you all have the update version. Yeah, I've just sent in our group, and I hope you all managed to download it. Then now this has everything from the beginning, from the 7-line prayers, and then you all download it. Yeah. Okay. Great. So we can use that one. I mean, to recite. Today we will recite from the beginning. Sorry, I couldn't record for the YouTube this weekends this week. Since Monday we were extremely busy. I couldn't do anything. We were having a very intensive puja happening, even today. So I thought that initially I thought maybe I cannot do this weekend kind of teaching. So then I thought it's also important. So I skipped the puja and thought of doing the teaching here. Because it's same way, as far as it is beneficial, it is something, make some, how do you say, some purpose. So it's okay, same way, even doing puja and also doing a little bit of interaction, practice together is same. So I suggested to do the teaching today. So I couldn't do for recording the YouTube, but as I promised last time, I said, hey, this week I will do it. But then I think probably in this coming week, I probably can do it, because our camera, who worked with the camera was also, we had to go down and some inconvenient things. So we couldn't do it. So I think this coming week, I probably can do it, yeah, entire parts. But now also we have everything from the beginning, the 7-line prayers, and also after that, there are a few little things as I edit. Now we have a complete of everything in terms of practices, and the one we are always doing here. So I add up everything. So it's a complete practice now, yeah. So anyway, so let's start reciting the refuge in Bodhicitta, as as usual, as it is very important. Refuge in Bodhicitta is, as I always say, it's always we have to remind ourselves how important. And without the refuge in Bodhicitta, it's like, we have no target, and we want, it's like says in the like in the text, no target, and we are shooting, there is no target, but we are just shooting in the space. So it becomes like that if we practice. Without the refuge in Bodhicitta development, we do practice a lot. We do practice hours and hours, sometimes, and also daily practice. So if we don't have the Bodhicitta and refuge prayers, along with it, then it becomes like, shooting in the sky. It doesn't go anywhere. So it's always important us to remember the refuge, as I always said, refuge, how important, the essence of refuge, having the sense of understanding of renunciation, that is the essence of refuge, and the confident or the devotion towards the Buddha Dharma, towards the Buddha Dharma and Sangha, towards your Guru. That is the key thing in terms of refuge. And then Bodhicitta is, as we always say, for the sake of all beings, I want to get, I want to get enlightenment, So that is the main thing. Instead of, having a selfish kind of thought, I want to get liberation. I want to be free from suffering. I want to be free from the samsara. That is the very narrow kind of minded way of thinking. So instead of that, to have a broad kind of mind, always can embrace the entire beings, for the sake of all beings, I want to get enlightenment. So then I can help others. So then I can help others in a better way, in a proper way. So that's the kind of thought we have to have. So as I always say, the essence of bodhicitta is the compassion, always having the compassion thoughts towards others, loving kindness, always thinking of other beings, the suffering of other beings, not only other beings, always including yourself. So that is the kind of essence we always have to remind ourselves. So then let's recite the refuge in bodhicitta. Then today I will talk a little bit about the what do you call it, the ultimate bodhicitta, I think, which is very important again. Yeah. So let's recite the bodhicitta in let's recite not bodhicitta before. Now today we have the new version. So 7-line prayers. Let's do that together, and then followed by all these extra things which we have put Rigzinla, and I think a few of you also helped him in putting all this together, and also I sent some of this morning. So we have now complete of everything. So let's recite from the 7-line prayer, beginning of the Nolsang. So these are quite easy. We just read it without any particular melodies. Yeah. Pema jungne jisu ja hurdu kandre mangwe yugi jisu da drugi jingi lobje jisu guru pema sidi. 3 times we will repeat that one 3 times. Uygen yulgen numjan sam pema gesir dongbo la yatsin juk mujunge padma jungne jisu ja hurdu kanju mangpe gore kyugi jisu da drugi jingi lobshi shiksu sul guru pema sidi. Uygen yulgen numjan pema gesir dongbo la yatsin chugin mujunge padma jungne jisu ja hurdu kanju mangpe gore kyugi jingi lobshi shisu sul guru pema sidi. Now the next. Necho di ru jin po la drup cho da la wang shi gur ge ta lo di par she su cho da dun mo ju zu a hong ben zi gur pema si di hong a hong ben zi gur pema to jing zi ben zi samaya za sarva siddhi phala hong a shima ratsa shiya chita shinge shing za guru khandre tsongje dacha me pe punam la lula kui jingi hala sungi jingi lo ila tugi jingi wangji gurwar jingi lo gyushi tabar jingi namji jongwar jingi lo kuji dobar jingi lo a hum benzir gur pema dewa jagini kaya abi kinsa waka abi Sita Bikinzaji, Sarva Bikinzaji. So that's the 7-line prayers, and then I think tomorrow, if you would like, I can try to explain a little bit. Then after that, we do kind of a long life prayers, and also sometimes we do different long life. I mean, of course, Holiness has so many different long lives. So I thought of putting this one for all of you. The common one, Kunkep Deshik, I think many of us know from the heart. And this is again another very important one, composed by Holiness, His Holiness Guru Ontul Rinpoche. So Holiness recently asked, kind of advised us to do this one quite how do you say, quite often. So we are always doing here. So I thought also good for all of you to have this one. It's a shorter one than the one we always do. So I just insert this one. But if you are watching the live, we wouldn't do this in the beginning. We would do in the end, as as you all see all the long life prayers we do towards the end. So I thought this one, normally we do Kunkep Deshe, and sometimes we do other long life, like at Changi, there is 4 verses of long life prayers to Holiness, and we do that one. So I thought this is anyway for all of you to have, to get used to it, and also to have in the memory. You can always do this one. I think it's the best thing. So I put it there anyway. Okay. So I think Rigzin probably will translate it. If not, then we can talk tomorrow a little bit. So today, just recite, go through it. Okay. Sudi jingme ne to baldin be ma ge pule wang chu jimbo drue gun chu gi guz guni re pa ji chulbe ge cho tambe jaten chu on tue palma trawe ga sal du shibe ge tsin zambu chue sire pendele Kunkil matres This is composed by Ontu Rinpoche, if you all know. I've never seen, maybe many of you might have seen him. His Holiness, one of the Holiness root guru, Ontu Rinpoche. I mean, he already passed into Parinirvana, but many of you might know. The one we do, Kunkep Deshek, is composed by His Holiness Dujum Rinpoche. I think first day when Holiness was born in the Revulsor Lake. So the Rinpoche was there together. They were on the 10th Rinpoche day. All the great masters are dancing, and so immediately the Rinpoche gave that one, the Kunkep Deshe, which we do normally do. So this is by Ontu Rinpoche. Yeah. So you always can also, instead of the Kunkep Deshe, sometimes you can recite this one always. Yeah. Okay, now continue. Next page. Lama kukam zangwar salwa de choku gutsi ringwar salwa de chule tarshin geb salwa de lama dan jalwa mibar chingi lo pende juwe nechin temba yunri nemba da temba zimbe gibun Kutse kelsen dengurji chunga chimbo jahine dumezin Kargi shukalpa chewa samis Shudun zeching shugurji. So now the next one is 7 branch prayer. So this part is from the 7-line prayer until this 7 branch prayer. We always do. This is a kind of a how do you say, starting part for every ritual. We always, I think this will be very beneficial of all of you with any kind of practices, like whatever you do, before we play the cymbal and drums. So this is a kind of a one set prayer, always goes ahead of any rituals, I think. So that's why I thought of putting all together here. So in other practices, we can always practice together. Yeah. So this is the 7 branch prayer. It's same as we have in also later in the Nolsang we have. So this is another set of 7 branch prayer. So there are so many different 7 branch prayer. So this is the kind of the middle one. The longer one is we do in the King of Aspiration prayer. that is the longer version, and this is the middle one, and then there is a only 4 verses, only one word is 4 sentences, 1 verses. That is the end of the King of Aspiration prayer, 7 branch. So that is the short one. There are a big longer version and the middle one, and then shorter version. So this is the middle one. So we do normally, most of the time we do this one. So I thought of putting this one. Rigzin bought it from internet. So we were kind of working this morning. On this morning is the only time I've got in whole week, So I was just putting few of them all together. And Rigzin worked very hard. From Brazil, he really worked hard to put all this together. And I think many of you, like I think few of Steve and Mickey, and I think many of you contributed. So it's a great thing we have to appreciate. When we work together, it's the amazing, the good thing about it is, everyone has a different capability, so I can just send it and then someone can just put it all together. So it's I really appreciate all of your contribution, and of course we all have to appreciate, from the the Zoom hoster who is zooming, the Sophie who is hosting the Zoom, and also of course all of you. We all are putting effort to make this happen together. So we always have to appreciate. We have many things to appreciate in terms of how do you say, in anything, whatever we are doing in our life, we have to appreciate. So in terms of practice also, now we have a complete of everything, by everyone is doing a little bit here and there. But the only thing is now translation hasn't finished yet. I think Rigzin will do it. And as I told him, no need to hurry, I'm happy to always continue as long as it is beneficial of all of you. Why I have to just finish and wrap up in a short time. I said it's okay. We can always continue a few more weekends. So he will be, I think, translating in the coming weeks. So then we can always explain and talk about it later. Yeah. Anyway, so let's now do the 7 branch prayer. Gewa la ma la lunga isum gubel juenim tang je be ra du de gu sha zu sham yi zhi china sa la me ba shi jin ge zhe zona namba gun du zhe ba bu to me du ne sa ba yi tun mo ge par dang gal Mige jisu ni bezu maluge begune shanam kedar chokundu jola bimbar zebai sungel sejela gawe singe rana so zuge dunchal rang rang samba jidawa sapa tani gechne Picture to Guru so Guzon the gate in Sanwa Sangi Mikap Chisi Kurwa Desi the Yang Mit Jusus Darshan Gungi Sapa. Also from there, then when we say Darshan Gungi, then we start playing bell normally. Okay, so that is the kind of point. Darshan Gungi, I think just finishing before the 4 verses we do, then we play bell. Darshan Gungi Sabai Kusum Dewa Siddhi Magudwa Mali Chansu Ningo Tosu. Let's recite the refuge in Bodhicitta. The new melody, okay? Nam Lama Deshin Kon Raji ju sim jem nama chang ju bar de kya su chi nam chi de be gu kon chu sung ra ji ra da ga ju ju sim jem nam chang ju bar du kya su chi Namo Lam Di Shen Be Go Kon Cho Sum Gi Ra Jin La Da Gan Jo Jo Sim Jen Nama chang ju bar kya su ji sim chen ro gun dun dun la ma sang gi ju ni ka
I think Tingla's internet has dropped out, so we'll just wait and hopefully she'll come back in.
Sorry, it I think dropped. Now came back, yeah. Somehow my eye was closed, I thought that all of a sudden so funny. It was not there. Okay. Now came back. Okay, wonderful. Now, okay, I think we would recite halfway, otherwise it's going to be quite long. And then I think in the middle, then I can talk about the ultimate bodhicitta a little bit, yeah? Okay, let's practice together. Page 10, okay. So, yeah, so I think bodhicitta you have done 3 times, yeah? I've done it at my closed eyes. Then when I opened it, he was not there. Okay, let's continue. I think the bodhicitta you have done 3 times. If not, then it's okay. Now next page 11 should be okay. Yeah, so that's the cleansing part. Rang yang kang samze nam ke mada ve ji ba so dan sector de dumbar jang subhava shuddha sarvadan subhava shuddho han tombe ngale jule jimbo nu yang xing ye ji nang du a hong shua le ju song zi du yun gi nam bua ka do ji nu ji bun zum so ba nam ka par na sa ji tam che kya pe tu jin ni sam gi mi kya pa mi ta we ji ma ni kya tam jung wa re ji be yan tin ni ke bara ja da dem be yung su kang wa re yu nama sarva tatha gata vayu vishnu mukhe be sarva dekha saparana imangagana ka suha nama sarva tatha gata vayu vishnu sarva dekha gade saparana imangagana ka suha nama sarva tatha Bhai Vishmukhe be sarvate gade sapa imanga gana khasoha nama sarvata tha gata bhai Vishmukhe be sarvate saparana imanga gana khasoha nama sarvata tha gata bhai Mukhe be sarvate gade sapara imanga gana khasoha nama sarvata tha gata bhai Vishmukhe be sarvate yugate saparana imanga gana khasoha nama sarvata tha gata bhai Vishmukhe sarvate gade saparana imanga Khasoha Benzera Sabarana Namo Andagi Sambedo Data Pinto Tanchiki Getunam Kesina Kula Pinta Ketunam Banda Samba Vedatan Chiri Patopa Me Perjugu. Okay, so then we go to the now self-visualization. Yeah, so the next one we skip today, we do this part. Okay, now I think you all are quite familiar, yeah? The self-visualization and everything comes sequentially. The more practice we do, it will come spontaneously. Dani Godim sao American Chugoshi Dorje Panam Kajangani Chayun Kaya Chindu Rol Peshoy Mendara Osaya Jupe Jurma Ayundu Karchin Sugil Zakarmoni Ganduzi Bunkusun Tula Om Ahum Telenji We forgot we have to play the bell, the one we just finished. Yeah, anyway. Okay, now the invocation. Good bigil pematoje sayamyu kurduba Kandri gur jata hodu Jin Jin Boy Drup Shodana Waji Gur Tunje Amla Bell and Tamal Sun Branch Prayer. China sa de gonem chuti chuti chine kanchuba ade jindagi Thoma mene date So that was a self-visualization, yeah, and then invocation, and then we become the samaya being and wisdom being become inseparable. So the next one is, as I said, now this one is the front visualization. So I think here I have to kind of clarify a little bit. So front visualization, as I said, as I went through the little bit, it's a very deep meaning, so but still we have gone through a little bit of a rough explanation. So in the front visualization, we have we normally invite 4 guests. We call it 4 guests, as we do in the in Singetsewa, yeah. We have 4 guests. There are 4 different categories of different, we call it guest anyway. So the first one is, we call it Konchoksijudun in Tibetan, which means, if I think, how do you translate? It says the worshipful guests of the 3 jewels. So in this category, what comes in this guest category is this is the most advanced kind of guest, advanced, or how do you say, the upper. There are 4 different categories: the upper one, and then middle one, and then middle, and then so in the first one, the worshipful guests of the 3 jewels. In this, 3 kayas comes, Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya. This also we went through, from this, what do you call this? The front visualization. As I said, this, the 4 verses, this refers to Dharmakaya, and then Sambhogakaya, and then Nirmanakaya. So in the first, in this category, 3 kayas comes, and then 3 jewels comes, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and then we call it Tsasum, Lama, Idam, Khandro, Dhaka, Guru, Dhaka, Dakini. All these different guests comes in this first category. This is called the first, the worshipful guests of the 3 jewels. And then the second guest is, we call it Gumbu Yunten Gidron in Tibetan. So, which is, I think it's more protectors. All these Chukyong, Suma, there are so many different protectors. So all this comes in the second guest level. Yeah, that is the second one. And then third one is, I just literally translated, how we called it Riktugning Jedon, compassionate guests of the 6 realms. So in this guest, in the third category, all 6 realms comes, from the, divine being, the god, demigod, animal, human being, hell, and hungry ghost. Everyone comes in we call it compassionate guest. Compassionate in the sense, how do you say? They are all, in all these 6 realms are anyway. It's a how do you say? It's a compassionate. It's a compassionate one. That's why we call it compassionate in the sense, how do you say? It's a we have to think compassionately about all these guests, the 6 realms. So that is the third category, third level. And then fourth level, it comes guests who are karmic creditors. Guests who we have to pay the karmic debt. From beginning, this is up until today. There are so many, we have so much of karmic debt. We always have to repay. That's why we get sick. That's why we get unhealthy. That's why we have problems. That's why we die, before the time. And all these obstacles comes because of our karmic debt. So in the last category, we call it guests who are karmic creditors. So these are the 4 different guests. So in the front visualization, we have to remember all this. Yeah. So the first is in the when we recite all this, the first guest mainly it also comes in the recitation when we, and also at the same time we have to invite all other guests also. I think the smoke offerings, and we also do sur practice, like the burning in the evening. I think we always do this one mainly. It's a very important, all this. So front visualization, we have to remember these 4 guests. So so when we say how do you say here let me I just want to explain a little bit kind of in brief. So the first category of the guest, the worshipful guest of the 3 jewels, for them, we what do you say? So by this, so when we do the smoke offering, so this is the mainly the Nolsang is a smoke offering. So by when we do the smoke offering, we can how do you say, from the smoke, on the there are some, when the smoke comes, it has a kind of a radiates, the lights are there. So every part of the different lights has a different offerings to all these different guests. So the first level of the guest, we are offering by offering, whatever which is according to their level, the conjunctions don't, of course there's a guru, Daka, Dakini, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and 3 kayas don't need anything, I mean, when it comes to ultimate, but we are offering this smoke offering, and then all this abundance of offering to 3 jewels, Guru, Daka, and Dakini, Dharma Kaya, Sambhupagaya, and Nirmana Kaya. Why we are offering it, we want to accumulate the merit. We want, it's not that they want something, they are hungry for something. It's not like that. So we are offering this smoke offering, and then on the top of we can visualize every radiate of the smoke has a different offering. We can visualize so many dakinis offering, I don't know, abundance of food, jewels, and all these ornaments, whatever, everything, all the phenomena we have to, entire universe we have to offer. So the first level of category we are offering in order us to get enlightenment, in order us to accumulate the merit. And then the second guest for the second category of guests, also same, we are offering this, and then whatever is fulfill their wishes, it becomes it becomes abundance of offering to all. The second guest also is the same. And then the third guest, what do you call this, the guest of 6 realms, the 6 realms have a different wishes. For example, human being has a human desire, and then animal has the animal desire. So by offering this smoke offering, so every fulfill whatever they desire for, it becomes their, fulfill their wishes. That's what we have to visualize. And then the last one is, I think, most important. We also, with the Geo Sanctuary, we say Geo Sanctuary is mainly to repay the karmic debt. I think we have a huge amount of karmic debt, from the beginning releases until today, because of always, we have to depend on each other. We have to do so many different things with people, and we have to always associate with the things. So this, how do you say, naturally becomes karmic debt, even though you don't have a kind of a negative thought about the person, just because of having the connection or the relationship, or the, how do you say, connection, having connection, that becomes automatically or naturally becomes karmic debt. Little bit of, even the little things can accumulate the karmic debt. So karmic debt is the, I think, most important thing we have to kind of repay. So the smoke offerings like Sangcho and Nolsang are the so effective in terms of repaying the karmic debt. So those beings like spirits, that's why we say we have spirits, we have problems, we are sick, we go through lots of ups and downs and so many problems just because of our karmic debt. So this is the best offering in terms of repaying the karmic debt. So here we have to visualize for the last level of the category, the death. It becomes, there are the spirits, like there are so many spirits who like blood, who like flesh, who like, I don't know, whatever, all this kind of a very relative thing they want, they wish for. They are always looking for that. And there are so many spirits, they, as I mentioned also before, they have no form, so they only survive with the smell, so this smoke, this abundance of smoke become the survival for them. They, as they smell it, they fulfill all their desire, it fulfill all their wishes, and then they fulfilled and they become very happy, and then everything kind of everybody in this universe become fulfilled. That's what we have to visualize when it comes to this front visualization. So we have to remember the 4 guests. Some are, anyway, the first guest level is very clearly mentioned in the text, but the rest are not there, but we have to visualize. So that become front visualization. So in the front there are so many, it's like we have invited so many different guests, as we do normally. I have this guest, he is my kind of I don't know, what do you call this, chief guest, and then there are chief guests, and then important guests who are, so we have so many guests while we are doing smoke offering. So here we have to visualize the front visualization. Okay, so okay, let's read together now, recite together the front visualization. Here you can write, I haven't wrote because it's in the Quintian Pemakarbo has not kind of you can yourself can write self front visualization, so then it become easier for you to remember. Okay, let's recite together page number 21, that 4th line. Ke gunzam tu jirul beti kun kyala marin boje te nam jul nizebe navya tenge barze ham joda benangela shivatani jojagi Gilvegin kurgun chani shotanun mojutu jungeze bajumeja sangaring azada nimbujun bungabajin jarasu zegedura Nadio Marin Bezu, Sasulul Bezu Gizu, Kandumai Jawadu, China Sami Basisu, Yagita Hambaginamla, Nisumi Barsu Yabba. Tene do chin du jil nyami rim pe du jil peche tene genam la mi chilo ida yaji den min suni jude be son be jul be di. As here, the last word, says, what do you call this? May you display, remain here with us. So that is the front visualization. So here we are requesting them to remain there. Yeah. So all the front, how does the front visualize? All the guests comes in front of you, and all of them are very presently, lively, sitting there. Just being, remaining there, and then we are doing the small offering. That's what we have to always remember. Yeah. As the last verse says here, just like the analogy in the moon of the water, and then unreal yet unfolds. May you remain, may your display remain here with us. So that is the front. Okay, let's do now the Nolsang. Sem jin gun gyama hari de benon yon mo du mi she sanam no go sumi gele ma isum no zulchim yam belela anjo no la tam sing yam bedorji Upon the talk to the children, Mata, and Jonah, Penny Malami, Mano, Sena, Sabegas, I'm general things into bitching. I'm on the don't you bitch it. Samjeno je down to be Lanam no I get to be Lanam no do cha to be wangi Lanam no tablo to be down Lanam no timu to be selchi Lanam no karma ya Nimpon lo tapun jupe chela Nimpon lo amita thagi gemla Nimpon lo amita jime gon kya Lanam no ke paramita burme Pame demo barsum lalu Nenam no pula gunur gemla Kimdan lengai ta jala jala It's hanging again, yeah? I think internet problem. It's raining here. Sometimes when it rains, then internet dropped. You all can hear me properly or not? Thank you. Okay.
We
Okay,
can
then continue.
we can hear you, Tingla, but the image is frozen.
Okay, then it's okay. If as far as you can hear, then okay, we continue. Okay, reciting. Okay, ke mare wangino la ranjui shesa, tunge wangino la ringi sangesa, gusumi geno la gusum la namsa, tunjiri beno la legi kandosa, tunyam la mino la shito sumasa, sokru no la matang kandosa. Tamsing beno la jino samasa, te don't you beno la cheta jamdesa. Tamsena deno la tari gun posa, sena sa beno la nurla yang la sa. Kunji metano la kasuna napsa, tingzin ju beno la sipe mamosa. Se don't you be no la ning namsa, je don't you be no la shivela namsa, I get you be no la gipela namsa, lucha you be no la wangila namsa, chado you be no la chapela namsa, timu you be no la sejela namsa. No dip to benola, you lang in bosa. No dip to benola, jelang in bosa. Ola, la bella namsa. Mizantino la gunjala namsa. Rapche to sinola, sigila namsa. Nazentino la no la dalasa. Dice benola, la bella namsa. Miu mizano la sansila namsa, shin peru timno la yula yembusa, sin penameno la gruela sa, kapino la kamla jalasa, shugino la palamala sa, yuseno la malabudisa, lushino la lengila namsa. Manulusunye chakulanamsa, inulutinje sazolanamsa, yela nula cheladuna. Okay, can hear clearly. Video is images keep hanging anyway. Doesn't matter. Okay. Ke mukhatang parche pelanam sa sulo di pasarche pelanam sa sulo jagoi varche pelanam sa sulo nulo sarche pelanam sa sulo ke parmita pume bami. Ya deo barsmalaluyenam sa gila gunre kimla kimda ta lula ita jala jala ta nula ya la gunula la nunji miza jime goba Namma Tishime Jodi Surnato Tanga China Sansun Dayanato Misanul Divitime Sangyunji. Okay, continue. I think until it's properly comes back, then I can start talking. It's still hanging. No, you're not progressing. Masin Kandu Sugi, no Yuna Balam Daraji Sangu, Shugosuma Sugi, no Yuna Shatana Sugi Sangu, Tari Gunbo Sugi, no Yuna Karsamasim Ji Sangu. La sindege sugi, no yuna shingtimin suji sangu, gasudam jinsugi, no yuna shimugum ji sangu, la nammi sugi, no yuna provishu ji sangu. Lunami Sangi, no Yuna Lumina Suji Sangu, Nami Sangi, no Yuna Tasundasi Ji Sangu, Sadami Sangi, no Yuna Yadisibuji Sangu. Dami Sangi, no Yuna Tapasuji Sangu, Dami Sangi, no Yuna Kimbasuji Sangu, Lami Sangi, no Yuna Yamaji Sangu. Lami Sangi, Chimmerze Puti Sangu, Lami Sangi, no Guna Rinchina Soti Sangu, Lami Sangi, no Guna Lami Sangi, no Guna the number T Sangu, Lami Sangi, no Guna Dusina Soti Sangu, Lami Sangi, no Guna Tasuna Soti Sangu. Lami Sangi, no Yuna Chimmer Pakim Ji Sangu, Lami Sangi, no Yuna Jigger Ji Sangu, Lami Sangi, no Yuna Shashasikim Ji Sangu. Lami Sangi, no Yuna Lajaji Sangu, Lami Sangi, no Yuna Gubigana Sangu, no Yuna Shinjimito Sangu, Chila Namazugi. No Yuna Yushukbaluji Sangu, Captain Lana Mazugi, no Yuna Penashinichi Sangu, Lugi Gosun Sugi, no Yuna Lashaminichi Sangu, no Sugi. Nolgurna Shinchuti Zamingi Sangu, Nolji Mitza Tamche, Anune Shelhojin to Shina Salgursi. hanging, yeah? Okay, let's continue this one then. By then, I hope it will come back. Shinchoti Zamen Ye Sang Yurchi Silaguna no Wayonaya Shinchoti Zamen Ye Sang Yurchi. Okay, now image is okay, yeah, not hanging at least. So let me talk here a little bit about the ultimate bodhicitta. As we always say, you know, so bodhicitta has two categories, you know, relative bodhicitta and ultimate bodhicitta. So the one we have been always talking, as I said, we have to have compassion and then we have to generate bodhicitta, you know, the so relative bodhicitta has aspiration bodhicitta, you know, bodhicitta of aspiration and application bodhicitta. So these both are relative, yeah. So aspiration bodhicitta is aspiring, you know, to help. As we always know that, you know, in order the beings to liberate it, I want to, you know, for example, I want to do Nolsang. So having the aspiration before and then application, you know, really doing it, you know. For example, now we are reciting and we are sitting on the cushion and then in a proper place and then reciting Nolsang is the application bodhicitta, you know. So really doing is the application. So this aspiration bodhicitta and application bodhicitta both are relative, you know, something we do with the concept, you know, something, you know, I as a, you know, I also exist in that terms, you know. I as a, how do you say, generating, I as a person who is Mahayana practitioner, Vajrayana practitioner, and then I want to generate bodhicitta that exists, and also sentient beings, and all the sentient beings, you know, in order to liberate all the beings, then we have sentient beings also exist. So that's why we call it relative bodhicitta. It's a relative, yeah. So now let's talk about the ultimate. So when we talk about ultimate bodhicitta, it's the always, you know, that's nothing to do with relatives. So ultimate always goes back to the same point, and as we all know, always we say ultimate is the ultimate, you know, and nothing exists. So in order to practice ultimate bodhicitta, we, you know, the first thing is we have to be how do you say, always very mindful, you know. So ultimate bodhicitta is referring to your ultimate wisdom, which is your own mind, you know. There is nothing, something out there or something we gain outside from the spaciousness or from your guru, or these are all are relative. So the ultimate reality, how do you say, the ultimate bodhicitta is referring back to your own wisdom, the ultimate wisdom of your own mind. It's referring back to your own mind. You know, mind is the everything anyway. So in order to have, or how do you say, the training of ultimate bodhicitta is the first training is being mindfulness all the time, alertness, you know, whether you are alone or you are in crowded, or whatever you are doing, you are eating, you are walking, you are driving, you are jogging, you are exercising, you know, you are cooking, whatever you do, we have to pay attention. Alertness should be always there, you know. For example, while reciting also, you know, we have recited the Nolsang from the beginning up until here. So but sometimes we can also forget, you know, that our alertness is not there. If alertness is there, we know I'm reciting this, you know, the witnessed, we can also call it witnessed, you know. Witness is there in the knowing, you know, oh, I'm reciting this, you know, but we forget that's what we call it, alertness, awareness. Having the awareness while you are reciting it, while you are cooking it, or I'm chopping, for example, you are chopping the vegetables, I'm chopping it, you know. So having the alertness. So that's why we say the training of ultimate bodhicitta, the first thing is we have to be mindfulness all the time. Whatever we do, we have to pay attention. Attention should be there. Otherwise we forget, I mean, beginners like us, we very much forgetful. We, for example, in my case also, it's very difficult. I would say we try our best to be alert all the time, but it's, it's a zero, when it comes to the practice, it's a really difficult, so to train to have the ultimate bodhicitta, or to do the training of the ultimate bodhicitta, the first thing is mindfulness is very important. So, I mean, so in order to have mindfulness, you have to meditate. So meditation is the key thing, we read so many different books, we do contemplate, we always think of other things, which is also very crucial, very important, as we say, 3 wisdom practice: listening to the teaching and then contemplate it, and then the most important is meditating it, so we have to do meditation. So in order to have the mindfulness, we have to meditate, as a beginner. If you are advanced practitioner, then it doesn't matter, even though you are not meditating, you can always be alertness, no matter in a huge crowded, in noisy place, in most crowded place, you are always mindfulness. You can always be aware of it, there is no distraction at all. But people like us as a beginner, it's forget about the having the alertness or mindfulness in the crowded. Even you are alone, even you are practicing, mindfulness is not there, it's very difficult. So in order to have that, we have to meditate, as I kind of all the time, I have been kind of repeating, meditate, in a day you have to meditate, at least do the formal meditation for, let's say, 10 minutes a day, if the minimum is 10 minutes a day, try to do it all the time, and then watch at your own mind, without anything. Don't think about the past, present, or future. Look at the nature of your own mind, what you see, look at it. There is something you can look at, so that is the kind of training we can do in the very beginning. And then the second thing, when we talk about the ultimate, when we always say ultimate, so we have to know all the phenomena, all the phenomena means everything, what we hear, what we experience, what we feel, what we see, what we feel, everything is a phenomena. All these phenomena are dreamlike, that's what we have to have in our mind in order to have the understanding of ultimate bodhicitta, ultimate wisdom. So all the phenomena are like dreamlike. So when we say dream, for example, let's talk about the dream. In our dream, when we sleep, and we all have dream, right? So when we dream, we have everything in dream, isn't it? Like we see everything, even though our body is lying in the bed, our consciousness, I somehow, everything is there. We see, we meet people, we shake hand, we feel it. For example, if we have a good dream of someone who we really like, meeting of someone who we really like, our beloved ones, so we have a full, there is not like, it's a dream, okay, there is no feeling. It's not like that. We have everything, every senses, all the feeling of all the experiences there. We see, we made, we shake hand, we have tea together, we have we went to park, for working together, we went for picnic, we went for dinner in dream, everything is there. Or if there's a very sad dream of someone, some of your beloved or loved one dying or getting sick, or we cry, we feel, we experience hell, what's happening, oh no, this shouldn't be happening. So we never realize it's a dream, yet everything is there in our dream, isn't it? I mean, we all have dream, we have experience of what is dream. Everything is there, the sad feeling, happy feeling, pleasure feeling, I don't know, the whatever different feelings, and all the senses are there. Yet when we wake up, nothing is there. Yeah, nothing is there. Everything it's just a dream. We say it's a dream. So similarly, it's a very same with our own this very life. There is no different. It's the dream. When we dream, when we sleep, is a dream with closed eyes, and the dream which we are dreaming now is the dreaming with open eyes, but we make a big difference between these two. The dream is dream and we don't care, but this the dream which we are dreaming in the present is very solid. We never think it's a dream, but actually it's really a dream. When we die, when we breathe the last breath, and when we leave this world, we will be feeling the same thing. It's a dream. It's a just kind of it's a snap. It finishes in a snap. So this we have to kind of remind ourselves again and again. So this is the very easy, or how do you say, example. The dream, when we think of the dream when we sleep, then refer to this. It's exactly the same actually, but our mind, or our ignorant mind, differentiate it. The dream is a dream, and then this real dream is a very real, or it cannot be a dream. So this we have to remind again and again in order to have the ultimate realization, or ultimate bodhicitta, or the ultimate wisdom. So without this, then there is no way, or we would say, oh, I don't want to see this life as a dream. I want it should be very real, yet I want to get enlightenment. Then there is no enlightenment, or there is no liberation other than that. We have to understand, or we have to realize this very life like a dream, like an illusion, like a whatever you call. There are so many different names. It's an illusion, it's a dream. So for example, if somebody criticize you, when someone criticize you, oh, you did that, I mean, so many, how do you say, digging all of your faults, we have to apply, immediately we have to apply the remedy of dreamlike. Okay, doesn't matter, this is a dreamlike. As we dream, if someone criticizes you very badly in your dream, when you wake up, you don't feel anything, right? You won't hold on to it. We would say it's a dream. So this life, if someone criticizes you in this life, this dream, again you have to apply the same remedy. It's a dream life. Doesn't matter. It's nothing. It won't harm you. Nothing will happen to you if someone criticizes you. So then just apply the remedy of the dream life. Okay, let it go. Let it go. Doesn't matter. Then you will be, whatever circumstances come across to you, whatever circumstances you are facing, become dreamlike. So your life will become very flexible. You will become a very enjoyable, how do you say, the joyous person. Otherwise, all these little circumstances, like, or someone criticize you, someone dig your fault, all these little things, then that makes us very sad person. That makes us sad, that makes us very miserable. Our life become very, very miserable there, because so many people are criticizing me, so many people don't like me. So we are holding on to it, we are clinging on to it, we are becoming so grasping to that idea. So then our life become miserable. You are the one who is making your life miserable. If you want to have a very happy life, very pleasure life, then let it go. Doesn't matter whoever is criticizing you, let it go. It's a dream life. Okay, apply the remedy of dream. And on the other hand, if someone is praising you, oh, you are the most beautiful one, you are the most knowledgeable person, you are most smart one, I don't know, whatever, where you are the most kind in this world, whatever you say, again, you shouldn't be so overwhelmed. Oh, this is the what I want to hear from someone else. You will be so overwhelmed with that. Is also not, for example, in dream, if someone really press you, you have a very good dream of the one who you really like, meeting with him or her and having dinner. When you wake up, it's a dream. That doesn't make any sense to you. So similarly, in this very life, if someone is praising you, if someone is really kind of, I don't know, praising you a lot, doesn't matter. Again, you have to apply the remedy of the dreamlike. It's a dreamlike, doesn't matter. Oh, very good. Okay, we have to appreciate it, but then don't cling on to it. Yeah, don't hold on to it. So then that's why we call it the yogi or whatever practitioner should be like, If you face a difficult time, it's okay. You can very easily can take it. If you have a very wonderful, I don't know, enjoyable time, also okay. It's okay. You can take it. Not so overwhelming with it, and not so expectation. So in that sense, we wouldn't expect that much also from the people. As now we have so hope and fear. Fear of someone criticizing you, fear of someone will, if I do this, or people wouldn't like that, if I do that, oh, so people will like it, I should do it. So we are living in this so full of hope and fear, full of expectations. So if we practice this kind of the dream life, then your life doesn't matter if many people, as Shanti Deva said, there are 100 people who will praise you, but how do you say, that is not a surprise, because on the other hand, there are hundreds of people who don't like you, who criticize you. That is not a surprise either. So he said, it doesn't matter whatever, you shouldn't be surprised. People will always criticize you, doesn't matter. Some people will always praise you, doesn't matter. So don't cling on to it. That means, don't cling on to it. Then you become practitioner, stable person, not so moody, not so, how do you say, kind of emotional, in terms of emotional, you become very stable all the time. Doesn't matter, good thing happen to you, very good, bad thing happen to you, also very good, very good. That's what we say for practitioners. If you get sick, we have to be very happy, because we have to think that, oh, it's a wonderful thing, I'm getting sick, I'm purifying all my negative karma, I'm purifying all my defilements from beginningless up until today, I'm purifying it. I have to be very appreciative if I get sick. Wonderful, instead of, oh my God, I'm getting sick, why I have to get sick, why I have to suffer. If you say that, if you are suffering, how do you say, if you can get rid of your suffering, if you say, I don't want to suffer, it doesn't, it's okay, but then it wouldn't go. Even though you 100 times you say, why I have to suffer, suffering will never go away. So instead of that, as a practitioner, we have to know how to apply the remedy. If you get sick, wonderful, I have to be very happy, I have to be appreciating. If you are, I don't know, if you have some problems, anyway, again, you have to apply the remedy of wonderful. Maybe I have, I'm clarifying, I'm purifying some of my karmic debt, some of my negative deeds, so very happy. So in that way, then we become very flexible. Anyway, so here I don't want to emphasize that much. The ultimate bodhicitta, when we say ultimate realization, we have to always see everything, all the phenomena like a dream. As I said, criticizing, also apply the remedy of dream. Someone praise you, also apply the remedy of dream. If a happy moment happens to you, apply the remedy of dream like. Sad moment happened to you, apply the remedy of dream like. Every time, whatever circumstances come across to you, don't cling on to it. So that is the kind of training we have to do in terms of, in order to realize, in order to have the ultimate bodhicitta. So so let's see now, when we say ultimate bodhicitta, that the training of ultimate bodhicitta is to again go back to the same subject. We fight against the ego, ego, I. We have to, ultimate bodhicitta training is to fight against the ego, fight against the confusion. Confusion means the ignorance again, So confusion or the ignorance is the source of all the problems. Our confusion, our own confusion, or our own ignorance is the source of all the problems. So this confusion, we shouldn't be seeing confusion or the ignorance as an enemy, or okay, I have to get rid of it. We shouldn't be seeing as an enemy. Instead, or rather, we how do you say, we face it. We have to kind of make friendly with this confusion or this ignorant mind. We have to make friendly with it, and then how do you say, we have to we have to realize the wisdom out of that. Actually, the wisdom or the confusion or the ignorance is the same. There is no two. We are the one who are separating it. This is ignorance and this is wisdom. So, actually the ignorance or the confusion is coming from the wisdom. It's inseparable. We are the one who are separating it. That's why then confusion disturb you. Then confusion gives you problem. Confusion distract you. Because we have not enough wisdom there. If we realize it, confusion itself is the wisdom. Ignorance itself is the wisdom. So so that's why we say, alertness is needed. Whatever circumstances you go through, situation you face with, the alertness in the sense, look into it. For example, when you get angry, look into it. You get happy, you are happy, look into it. Yeah. So that's the thing. You look into your own mind, examine the nature of your own mind. For example, when you when you are getting angry, look into it. Just look into it. If you understand it, that's why we say, angry itself is the wisdom, as I mentioned the other day, the 5 wisdom and then 5 poison. Yeah. So when you get angry, look into it, and then we will realize that angry itself is the wisdom. As we say, ignorance itself is the wisdom. The confusion itself is wisdom. There is no other. We have to remove the confusion, and then I want to realize the wisdom. There is no, the confusion is coming from wisdom, but from the ultimate or the true nature of our own mind, the wisdom itself, but we have not enough of wisdom. That's why the confusion gives us problem. Yeah. So that is the thing. So in order to realize that, we have to be alert enough. We have to be aware enough to realize it. As now we have no alert, we have no alertness, we have no awareness, we have no witnessed when we are facing whatever situation we are going through. We become forgetful, so the chances are very less. That's why all becomes as a confusion, all becomes as a, the problems, because we have not alert enough. We have no, when we are not alert enough, then we will never realize the wisdom or the ultimate nature of our own mind. That is the ultimate bodhicitta, actually. So the basic mind, when we say bodhicitta mind, so the ultimate bodhicitta mind is your own mind, actually. Is the basic mind, the pure mind, which is primordially pure, which is primordially the we call it unborn nature. It is unborn. It was already had been already there forever, but our confusion mind or the ignorant mind is covering it. That's why we don't realize it. So the nature of unborn awareness or the basic mind, it's a very it's very simple. It's a very simple. We have to be alert enough to understand it. As there are so many things, it's too simple. That's why it becomes so complicated. Yeah, the reality of the reality of our own mind, or the ultimate wisdom, or whatever we call, or the Mahamudra, or all this great enlightenment, all these are within you. It's so close to you. It's not far away. It's so close to you. That's why we don't realize it. It's always there. It's been always there, 24 hours with you. We don't realize it because of the lack of the alertness, lack of the mindfulness, lack of the awareness. We have no aware enough. We have to be. That's why we have to be aware all the time. Whatever we do, aware of it. Then we will see in the sense there is nothing to see. We will realize the ultimate wisdom or the ultimate bodhicitta. So, the mind, the basic mind or the pure mind is never divided into any sections. It's always there. There is only just one. There is no two. As I said, wisdom mind and ignorant mind. There is no two. The wisdom is ignorant is wisdom. If we have enough wisdom to apply, we will realize it. The ultimate bodhicitta mind or ultimate mind, we will realize it. So when you look into the mind, whatever we face, any situation, when you look into your own mind, look at the mind, then there you will see the nature of as I said, nature of the mind. You will see it. I mean, there is nothing to see. Ultimately, we wouldn't say, for relatively, we can say there is something we can see or we can realize. That's the ultimate or the unborn or the ultimate bodhicitta is, never touched by any thought. No bad, no good, nothing. That's why we say, we have to be just, don't cling onto it. Don't cling onto it. That basic mind or the pure mind of pure, how do you say, the basic mind or the ultimate mind of your mind is already purified. It's already been there. It's an enlightenment mind. So, but we are the one who is kind of with the dualistic mind. We make it good, we make it bad, ugly, beautiful, good, bad, I don't know, long, short. It's just because of our ignorant mind. We are kind of, we are dividing it, we are making it, So in order to realize the basic nature of our own mind, don't cling on to anything, just look at it. Let the thought to come. But when we say just look into it, means, we would think that, oh, maybe if some thought comes, I have to reject it. If bad thought comes, of course I have to reject it. If good thought comes, maybe I don't have to reject it. But neither. Bad thought, let it come, but don't react to it. Bad thought, whatever bad thought comes, don't react to it. Let it come. That's what we say, let it come, and then it will go by itself. It's like a wave of the wave in the ocean. The ocean itself is not even moving it deeply. It's always remaining there, very stable. So our mind is also like that. It's always stable there, but the wave comes. The good thought comes, bad thought comes. Let it come. Don't react. We will see it, but don't react and don't cling on to it. But we are clinging. The problem with us is we are clinging on to it. If something, that bad thought comes, we would say, this is a bad thought, I have to reject it. How come? We immediately become merged with it. So then our pure mind or the basic mind is already diluted. We dilute it actually. We thought this is a good thought, this is a bad thought, this is a negative thought, this is a positive thought. We are clinging on to it. So instead, we don't cling on to anybody, just anything, just look into it directly. Bad thought comes, doesn't matter, let it come. Don't cling on to it. Any positive feeling of positive thought comes, let it come. Don't react onto it. There's a way, I've said that before, it says like, now I forgot anyway. I've said in my kind of teaching here in Amitabha, when many of you were here, I said there's one master said it very nicely, when the guest, how do you say, don't open the door or something like that, don't offer the tea or something like that, when keep the door open, the front door and back door, the guest will come from the back door and front door, and then we'll leave from the back door. Just don't serve the tea or something like that. That was a kind of, strike me. It's a very nice word, Same thing, in our mind, so many things will come, the good thought, bad thought. I don't know, that the thousands of thought will be arising. Let it arise, and then it will go by itself. If we don't react to it, don't serve the tea, let the guest to come from the front door, and then let him leave from the back door. It will go by itself, So same thing happens here, So many thousands of thoughts will be arising in our mind, let it arise. Don't cling onto it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Let it come. We will realize it, but don't cling onto it. Or we immediately will say, this is a bad thought. That's a clinging. That's a grasping. This is a positive thought. That's a grasping. Don't grasp it. Let it come and then let it go. We have to, our job is to remain with the basic mind, nature of your own mind. Remain. So remaining is the witness. Remaining is the mindfulness. Remaining is the alertness. We have to be always alert all the time. Then don't react onto the whatever happening in it's like a wave of the ocean. The wave comes and then it settles by itself. And sometimes it's a very, very, how do you say, high wave comes, it jump to like so many kilometers, and then it settles by itself. The ocean is doing nothing. So same thing, there's so many wave comes in like a so emotion, like a so strong anger comes, like a like a very high wave. Then don't cling on to it. It will settle by itself. So that's the kind of a training we have to do in order to have the ultimate bodhicitta. When we say ultimate, is always referring to the same thing as I have been kind of explaining a little bit every day. I can't explain because I myself is as I always say, very beginner in terms of practice, very weak in practice, very how do you say, very lazy in practice. So it's a very difficult, it's very difficult, but we all have to work together in order to have that. So always reminding ourselves the dream-like. So that's the wonderful remedy in order to realize, that's the wonderful remedy. So then we get less clinging onto it. Otherwise, if we have a very strong clinging, very strong grasping to something, like a bad feeling, good feeling, emotion, then how we will realize the ultimate bodhicitta, how we will realize the ultimate wisdom? It's very difficult. So that's the best, one of the best remedy. We always have to live with like dream-like. It's a dream-like, it's an illusion, doesn't matter, whatever. That's the best remedy. On the top of that, then the alertness, the awareness. So many great masters said, we always read a lot of book. It doesn't help that much. We also contemplate, in the sense we think about it. Oh, this is that. And the intellectually we think, oh, master says that, book says that, sutra says that, tantra says that. We read and we contemplate, and we have a intellectual level is always there. But the lacking part is meditating. So if you are reading, for example, I got a very nice one of these Osho's book, it's an amazing thing. Of course, I think many of you have it, the Book of Wisdom, the Heart of Tibetan Buddhism. So this is a wonderful book. I think you all can read it, because he refers to all these great masters' story and the theories or the practices. For example, this is the one amazing thing. I found it very interesting. Of course, interesting in the same, when we read it, of course we all becomes very, how do you say, fantasized by it. But problem is we don't apply. So when you read a book, then apply after that, really meditate on it. For example, this is a wonderful thing. Let me just read it. What are the preliminaries? There are 3 preliminaries. First, the truth. For example, he says, truth is not something to be created. And then truth is not something that is far away. As I said, the bodhicitta, ultimate mind, or the, whatever you call the great perfection, the enlightenment is not far away. It's always there, as I just said, 24 hours with you. Truth is not something that is far away. Truth is here now, as he said, Truth surrounds you like the ocean surrounds the fish. This is a very good example, the truth surrounds you like the ocean surrounds the fish. The fish may not be aware, Once the fish becomes aware of the ocean, the fish is enlightened. I think that's a very good example. Fish is always in the ocean, but fish never know he is in the ocean. He never realized he's in the ocean, because the fish is born in the ocean and die in the ocean. It continues here also. It says, once the fish becomes aware of the ocean, the fish is enlightened. The fish is not aware, cannot be aware, because the fish is born in the ocean, has always lived in the ocean, is part of the ocean, as any wave is part of the ocean. The fish is also a wave, a little more solid. Yeah, fish is also a wave, but a little more solid. But born out of the ocean, lives in the ocean, and one day disappear in the ocean. The fish may never come to know about the ocean. Yeah. To know something, a little distance is needed. To know something, perspective is needed. The ocean is so close, that's why the fish may not be aware of it. So this is the same thing, Enlightenment is within you. Buddhahood is within you all the time. 24 hours is there, but we are not aware of it, like the fish in the ocean. The fish never realized because he's in the ocean, So same thing. Similarly, we are surviving, or we are living with the Buddhahood. We are living with the wisdom, ultimate wisdom. We are living with the great enlightenment, yet we don't realize it. It's always there. So in order to realize that, mindfulness is very much needed all the time. As I said, while cooking, you have to aware of, I'm cooking. While you are having meal, I'm eating, okay? Alert, aware of, I'm knowing of, I'm eating, I'm drinking, I'm walking, I'm speaking, I'm chanting, I'm reciting, I'm sweeping, I'm cleaning, I'm driving. We are not aware of it. You all check, okay? We are very weak in that. I don't know, maybe many of you are very good at that in terms of meditation. In my case, it's very weak. So this is the great method we have to always apply in order to understand the ultimate wisdom. So when we are mindful enough, then we will realize, like, physical attitude, mental, the mental attitude and verbal attitude. As now we are not aware of it. So sometimes when we get angry, we say so many different things, so many harsh words comes out of our mouth. We are not aware of it. It just comes because we are not alert enough. And then we do, so physically we show, we show long face, we do so many, kind of a negative reaction, because we are not alert enough, so it just happens because of our habitual tendency, the negative habitual tendency. It just happens with us because we are not mindful enough. So if we are mindful enough, then physically, mentally, and verbally, we would never accumulate any bad merit or the bad virtues. Yeah. So so the principle is basic mind, or the pure mind, is never touched by any negativity, never touched by any positivity. It's the nature of its own, it's the nature. It's the beyond expression, beyond expression, beyond imagination, beyond definition, as we always talk about that. So so as the life, then life becomes very flexible. Let it be, whatever happens, let it be, let it come. You can always enjoy, you can have a beautiful life, you can enjoy, have the whatever the daily life is. Always, it's not like, it cannot, everything have to be seized and I cannot do anything. It's not like that. You can have everything, yet you are aware of everything. So then your life becomes so joyful. You are full of happiness every moment, every second, every day, every month, every year. You will have a, full of satisfaction, full of happiness, full of joyous. So if we know how to cultivate the reality, and the how do you say, the ultimate method of training of the ultimate wisdom. So in kind of in concise, or in short, the ultimate bodhicitta, from the relative or ultimate bodhicitta, from these two, which is more important? Is the ultimate bodhicitta is the, of course, there's the ultimate, it's most important. That is the important. If you have enough training of ultimate bodhicitta, then relative will come spontaneously. Simultaneously it will come. How? Because once you know, or once you realize that, once you have enough wisdom, you yourself have enough wisdom, or enough practice of wisdom, and you have a kind of a very little understanding of wisdom, then spontaneously you will have compassion towards beings, as Shanti Deva very clearly said in the ultimate, what do you call this, the ultimate. He also, there's a one chapter he explained about the ultimate mind, ultimate bodhicitta, or the ultimate realization. So in that he very clearly mentioned, when you have enough wisdom, then you will spontaneously have a compassionate towards beings, so the bodhicitta, relative bodhicitta, is the compassion, having the compassionate thought towards the others. So which spontaneously comes, when you have the great wisdom, then when you look at the beings surrounding, around you, you will feel pity, because the beings, they have a zero wisdom, and then the way they, the physically, mentally, verbally, the way they are reacting is a very pity. Spontaneous coming, it comes spontaneously. So ultimate, if you have enough training of ultimate bodhicitta, relative will come automatically. That's why we say all these great masters have a great compassionate. Why? Because they have a great realized of the wisdom. They have already understood, they have already realized the great wisdom. So by looking at the beings, ignorance beings like us, they would cry out of their compassion, because we have a zero wisdom. The way we live in this life is a very pity, very, very weak, very pity, or how do you say, very ignorant way of living. So they will have they have a compassion, they have a very strong compassion towards the beings. So similarly, we will also have same. So we have to, in order to have the ultimate bodhicitta mind, we have to apply the training. So the training, I kind of point out two things, always reminding ourselves as a dream like, and then other one is the mindfulness, which is the path to enlightenment, alertness, the awareness. So in order to have that, in the beginning we have to do the formal meditation, and then still your mind, at least 10 minutes a day, and then see what happens. If you are really constantly doing it, I think within months or two, 2, 3, 4 months, you will have result out of it. Anyway, so that's the thing I wanted to kind of say. That's all, a little bit about, anyway, very, very weak explanation, because of the person who is talking is very weak in practices. So also, it's a very difficult to explain. So anyway, we all have to apply. So the most important is we have to meditate. Meditate. We have to really apply, instead of reading so many books or contemplating or thinking. It's a wonderful thing. The most important is meditate on it. Read the book and meditate on it. Understand something real. If you intellectually you have the understanding, and then try to contemplate, try to digest it. And I always say digest in the sense, meditate on it, and then experience it. Experience is the thing. Intellectually we can have so many understanding, we can I don't know, explain so many things intellectually. So intellectual and the experiential feel, how do you say, understanding, experiential understanding and the intellectual understanding is a far, big different. Intellectual is nothing, it doesn't make any sense to you, when it comes to the real life practice. So experience is very important. So in order to have that, we have to meditate. Okay, so we all have to be diligent enough to practice the meditation. Okay, let's now continue reading the next one. Yeah. Okay, continue page number 52 with the translation one. I'm looking at the translation one. You all have it? Yeah. Okay. Good. I can see many of you are smoke offering now. Okay. Shinchori zamingi sangyushi Agin lablu no lwayo naya Shinchori zamingi sangyushi Natsuno hano lwayo naya Shinchori zamingi sangyushi Natsiro hano lwayo naya Shinchori zamingi sangyushi Tato sergem no lwayo naya Shinchoti zamingi sangyuji no lwayo naya Shinchoti zamingi sangyuji Tata zembo no lwayo naya Shinchoti zamingi sangyuji Naya zunma no lwayo naya Shinchoti zamingi sangyushi Narato no lwayo naya Shinchoti zamingi sangyushi Tome tamze no lwayo naya Shinchoti zamingi sangyushi Tome tenzi no lwayo naya Shinchoti zamingi sangyushi Chuze no lwayo naya Shinchoti zamingi sangyushi Tenze nazo no lwayo naya Shinchoti zamingi sangyushi Tazunto tange lwayo naya Shinchoti zamingi sangyushi Okay, now with the bell. Ye dasa bolo mino gojigi sigi utanu loyunaya Shinchoti zamingi sangyuji kipi sunyanu loyunaya Shinchoti zamingi sangyuji tui loyanu loyunaya Shinchoti zamingi sangyuji jini bayanu loyunaya Shinchoti zamingi sangyushi kinpiti yanu loyana Shinchoti zamingi sangyushi mangpi soyanu loyana Shinchoti zamingi sangyushi tapi yoyanu loyana Shinchoti zamingi sangyushi shuki pinyanu loyana Shinchoti zamingi sangyushi ziki shuyanu loyana Shinchoti zamingi sangyushi tenpi tuyanu loyana Shinchoti zamingi sangyushi shukri yanu loyana Shinchoti zamingi sangyushi tenpi tuyanu loyana Shinchoti zamingi sangyushi tenchu pinchumanu loyana Shinchoti zamingi sangyushi jayanu jadasa bushi Shinchoti zamingi sangyushi Takpinu sinu loyana Shinchoti zamingi sangyushi Tuweze kumanu loyana Shinchoti zamingi sangyushi Shimam Sanaya Shinchoti Zamini Dube Martinaya Shinchoti Zamini Naya Shinchoti Zamini Tayo Naya Shinchoti Zamini Chukango Naya Shinchoti Zamini Zenurlo Naya Shinchoti Zamini 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 Shinchoti Zamini Da Pangyu Yanda Kurshiki Nodungi Dosangirji Shinchoti Zamini Da Pangyu Yanda Kurshiki Dochale Yulune Sangirji Shinchoti Zamini Da Pangyu Yanda Kurshiki Nolsang Shinchoti Zamini Da Pangyu Yanda Kurshiki Ninaego Ninam Sangyushi Shinchoti Zamini Da Pangyu Yanda Kurshiki Loze Luze Ninam Sangyushi Shinchoti Zamini Da Pangyu Yanda Kurshiki Shingyusada Ninam Sangyushi Shinchoti Zamini Da Pangyu Yanda Kurshiki Sirloti Ninam Sangyushi Shinchoti Zamini Nagaluji Yanda Kurshiki Kaljumlu Ninam Sangyushi Shinchoti Zamini Da Pangyu Yanda Kurshiki Ojoyi Ninam Sangyushi Shinchoti Zamini Da Pangyu Yanda Kurshiki Gotaela Ninam Sangyushi Shinchoti Zamini Da Pangyu Yanda Kurshiki Shatamba Hope Ninam Sangyushi Shinchoti Zamini Da Pangyu Yanda Kurshiki Chabanchu Ninam Sangyushi Shinchoti Zamini Da Pangyu Yanda Kurshiki Judansin Ninam Sangyushi Shinchoti Zamini Da Pangyu Yanda Kurshiki Satang Shugu Ninam Sangyushi Shinchoti Zamini Da Pangyu Yanda Kurshiki Dantawapu Nyampa Sangyushi Shinchoti Zamini 다단규주 연다불지기 냠바상규지 신조지자 맹기드바디 다단규주 연다불지기 발단두두 냠바상규지 신조지자 맹기드바디 다단규주 연다불지기 세상선남 냠바상규지 신초지자 맹기드바디 나방규주 연다보시기 가제왕당 냠바상규지 Okay, so with that, we finished the Nolsang. So let's, I think many of you are quite familiar with it. So after this, for time being, we do the Lungta in from the Rosary, yeah, normally, as I said. So let's do one today. That let me just get it. So this has Lungta yaki. Page number 116 in Rosary, if it is. Yeah. 116. Let's do in order all of you to get get familiar with the melody. So this has so many. I think we have, I don't know how many, 7, 8, 9, 10 melodies. We also do this one with the Rio Sanctuary. So I think many of you are quite familiar with, we do Rio Sanctuary many times, like Flore and many other places. So now we have another, I think few melodies you all are quite familiar with it. So let's do one of the new one, which we every day, I think in the life we do. So I will teach in the sense we will do one of the new melody together with that. So then probably, so 1 or 2 new melody I can teach in this coming weeks. So let's do today one. Yeah, you all got 116, page number 116. So individually, when later, I think after the pandemic and all this over, then if you do Nolsang, maybe we don't need to do this one. For time being, definitely I think it's very important, because it's the, we say the raising the good fortune, the smoke offering called, we call it Lungta Yarke. The meaning is the smoke offering called raising the good fortune, to raise the good fortune. So we have this kind of pandemic because the good fortunes are collapsed, or how do you say, diminishing or minimizing. So in order to raise again, in order to generate the good fortune, we have to do this. This is also one of the smoke offering, we call it Lungta Yarke Sangchu. Okay, let's do one together with one of the new melody. So all the melodies are, as I always say, it's a mind treasure of holiness. He always teach, so many, how do you say, melody, kind of a melodious one. Okay, let's do one together. Okay, so yeah, but Sangi Shidangi Dunda Lamai Dam Kanjuta Chikono La De Dala Sonjin Gyoban Sanchega Chindi Jela Lunta Darvi Dondo Ke Wiki Shonane Bela Tadare Jalan Tachogel Bubala Yuyo Chimidala Santa Gilun Tatervarzu Good Pelun Tagid Ke Shargi Chonani Bela Lunta Darve Jalan Tumsin Yuil Bajin Pazlachevidalas Dagilun Tatervarzu the good pelon ta ke lo ishonane bela nuta tarve jalan yuju zangi ziwa chen ngarke che dala sanda gilon ta tarvar good pelon ta ke nuki chonane bela lunta tarve jalan Gyata Tsilgi Tilizin Pam Chevedala Sanda Gilunta Tewazut Gutbelunta Gedus Lege Jangi Shonane Bela Lunta Tarvejalan Kunche Nurvidur Zujen Dobshujen Gidala Sanda Gilunta Tarvazut Good pelon tagedu, ke chosi tamnani bela jua ilana zmanjowelon tatarvazu. Good pelon tagedu, parkhage gilanam sa parkelon tatarvazu. Good pelon tagedu su mewa guilana mevelon tatarvazu. Good pelon tagedu, loda jatulanam sa, lodelon tatarvaz. Good pelon tagedu, sol hoguela tagobel, kola mola jalata, chala lela nam jansan tagilon tatarvaz. Good pelon tagedu, so get jelon tayerla. Lulazi Obazan, Maladin Benuge, Simla de Zingene, Dunabarshiva. So dozer building now say on the dagi do chole gel we gelsen do petun kundu bata gello la gel na chala gel yurji na suduri chamla bo chelwet dru par do sarva bizaya samaya Pati piti So with the mantra, then we play bell. Yeah? So this is the new melody for today. You all can learn. It's a it's like repeating. If you know the 4 lines of the melody, so it's a repeating. Yeah. Like sound so but sangi dangi dun da la mai dam khan da gyon la de da then again repeat da la song jing gyon ban sang ge chin di la long da ri don do ke ge shonane bela so where is ke so K we have to do separately. K, then we have to kind of write a long one. K, okay. So I think you have the recording. You can practice for today new melody, and then I thought of doing the entire things today, but we couldn't finish. Doesn't matter. So tomorrow we can continue in the second part. Tomorrow I will try to talk a little bit about the nectar offering, how important and the essence of it, and then probably the beginning or whatever comes anyway. Yeah, so that's all for today. I think time is over. I think many of you some are getting very late, so you can now turn on in the sense unmute and any question. And then one thing, one of participants Kim is asking the 6 precious substances. I think they are little, the cubib, I think many of you kind of got confused with it. So I just, again, kind of a research today, research in the sense, kind of checking. So these are, the 6 precious substances, yeah, we say, Zangduk in Tibetan. So the first one is, first one in this, I don't know, maybe it's not in the order. So we call it sukmel in Tibetan, that is cardamom. We call it cardamom, yeah? Cardamom. I've been always saying cardamom. I think it's my mistake with my pronunciation. So there is sukmel and there is cardamom, number 1. Then 2 is, we call it chugang in Tibetan, which is I think that one, many of you got confused. It's called it bamboo manna, M-A-N-N-A, bamboo manna. As I said, bamboo peach before, yeah. I've got also it looks like it's a dry, dry thing. I got in Google. I can send you the photo. Bamboo manna. Now you understand what is bamboo manna and the bamboo peach make difference. Same, right? It's white looks like you don't. I will send you a photo in the group. Where is it? They call it bamboo manna. No, we call that one is
it bamboo pith? P-I-T-H?
Yeah. There's
the inside of the bamboo that's kind of fuzzy, fluffy, dry.
I think so. It looks like this. You Google it. You all can Google it. It looks like, I cannot see that. Yeah. It looks like this. They've also shown the photo. Looks white. Chugang. This also we use this is also in herbal medicine. We use this as a medicine. One of the, I think, medicine for throat, if I remember correctly. Chugang, so I don't know how it looks like. I also haven't seen with my eyes. But we use, it's the powder comes we use this in mandala offering. So we just buy the powder from market, you know. So I don't know what it looks like, the seed of it. It looks like something you all can. So bamboo pith or bamboo manna or MANNA, bamboo manna. So that's the second one. And the third one is clove. We call lishi in Tibetan. And then the fourth one is nutmeg. We call zati in Tibetan. Nutmeg, yeah. So that looks like a one. And then one is kurkum. We call saffron. I mean kurkum in Tibetan, which is saffron. And then I think the last one, kakola. We call it kakola in Tibetan, which is I think it's the cubib, as I think many of you are confused with it. Cubib or whatever. I think it's a black cardamom, they say. It's also a type of cardamom. Cardamom, the sukmel, there's another cardamom. I think there are two types of cardamom. So this is a black cardamom, they say. Okay? Yeah. So cardamom, bamboo manna or bamboo pith, clove, nutmeg, saffron, and black cardamom or cubib. I think cubib, many of you got confused with it. I think now let's say then black cardamom. Yeah. Was it clear now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then you have any doubt, any question? What I supposed to? Yeah, any question you all have?
Yeah, you were talking about dreams,
Mm-hmm.
and lots of people were talking about having dreams. I think I've discussed this, but anyway, is there a way when we're having dreams that we can work with them? Are you able to share a little bit of information?
Oh yes, very good
Because I've
question.
been having fascinating dreams this week.
Yeah. I mean, if you are mindful enough, you know, the dream is very. I mean, in the dream, if you are, there's the training. If you want to do something in dream, this very dream, this open eyes dream, we have to be very mindful. If you are very alert, very mindful, and we are aware of whatever we are doing in a day, we are fully aware of it, you know. If you are fully trained in it, let's say you are kind of 100%, you are aware of what you are doing, you know, all the time you are mindful. So if you have that training, then in the dream, the sleep dream, you can do so many things in it. So this is a great one of the advanced practice. We call it dream, you know, the yoga, one of the 6 yogas of Naropa, for example, there is a dream yoga. So that comes dream yoga. So in your dream, then you can do so many things because you know, you are aware of it. It's a dream. So you can, you know, for example, you are about to fall from a cliff, and then you can fly because you know this is a dream. You can fly very easily, you know. You can change the dream. You can do so many things. Then that's why we say you can go in the pure lens in your dream, because you have no, how do you say, the concept doesn't stays there, you know. As far as you are aware of it, everything, then you know, the concepts you can get rid of the concepts. So then you can do so many things in your dream also, you know. There will be a wonderful time you can enjoy in your dream. You can do so many things in your dream, but it's a very difficult, how do you say, you know, subject, or very difficult things. It wouldn't come, you know, unless you are 100% fully aware in the open eyes dream. So that is the training we have to go through. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
My question is, are we allowed to share this video and chanting and all the text to as a lineage of my friend in another lineage, like Nyingma, or are we allowed?
I think it's okay. I mean, as far as
Because it's helping other people.
if they're interested, then why not? because the one thing
Yes,
here
they
is not,
do.
yeah. So I'm not teaching kind of a very deep. I mean, yeah, somehow it's also
It
kind
is.
of a something. But I think it should be okay. I mean, because I'm ordinary being. Anyway, it's another concept, double concept. I think it should be okay if they are interested, and if it is beneficial for them, then why not? I would say it's okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And then any question?
I have one question.
You are in a garden. I also thought of doing in the garden, you know, because it's a beautiful garden here, but then timing, it gets dark, so I cannot be in the, otherwise you all can have a chance of seeing the Amitabha, the Pure Land, or yeah, whatever. I'm joking. Pure Land in this is very, I mean, we have a beautiful garden. So I thought of doing the garden, but then it gets dark, so mosquito comes, and then, you know, there's no light there, so it dark, you wouldn't see me. I couldn't do it.
Okay.
There is in the garden.
Okay, so my question is how to work with our emotions when you say we have to look at them. When we look at them, it depends. If it's an emotion which is very, I mean, not very big, maybe it's easy just to look at them and then it just goes away. But when it's a very strong emotion, the first thing is just like I just breathe, no, and to let go, and then what do I see? Do I check where is it? What's the size of it?
There's
In
a lot
what
of
part of
people
my body?
talking. Too many people talking. We can't hear what's being said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I was saying is how to check. Do I have to check like in which part of my body is it, and how is the feeling, or how to look at it?
Okay, well, that's a good question. Sometimes when we have a very strong emotion, if we just look into it, it gets worse, you know, it gets worse, because that doesn't make any sense, you know. For example, getting angry or desire or jealousy or kind of a hatred, when especially anger, I think when we have a very, you know, very strong anger arise. So if we just look into it, and then it doesn't make any sense, you know. So it's a good question. If you are, I think if you're a good practitioner, I think you can look into it, look at the very nature of this anger itself, and then it just goes away, you know. It doesn't exist because it's not there. It's just a concept. It's a how do you say, it's an illusion, you know. It doesn't exist solidly there. It's just your mind. So just look into it. Will I think goes away, you know. It just goes away when you look into it, means you are aware of it, you know what's happening. So anger doesn't exist. I mean, immediately the remedy comes, you know. Where is it? Look into it means there is nothing, you know. Anger is a solidly, we cannot see, we cannot feel, we cannot touch the anger itself because it's not there. So I think that is difficult for many people, I would say, you know. It's not at all a easy job, or it's not an easy thing to apply. So the other option, when you have a very strong emotion, other thing is again the same. Actually, it's a different method, but you know, we say emptiness and interdependence is the same meaning. Yeah, interdependent, you know, everything see because of the interdependent, or we can say everything appears because of the emptiness. So we have to, if you can't directly look into it, or that doesn't make any sense to you, then the other method is thinking of interdependence. Immediately when you get angry, when you have a very strong emotion, whatever emotion you said, emotion, angry or desire or hatred or jealousy or whatever comes, when you have that strong emotion, you check the cause of it, what that cause, you know. For example, if it is angry, might be someone said something to you, or maybe someone did something to you, or something which is very kind of unpleasant to you. That's why you get angry. Or maybe if it is a desire, if you have seen some attractive people, or you have some attractive object, or that cause you a desire or the attachment. Or maybe if you have hatred, something to do with some people, So what is the cause of it? So if you can't look directly into the emotion, the other option is to check immediately. When you have a very strong emotion, check immediately what that cause, what is the cause of that emotion. Definitely, if there is no cause, you will not have an emotion. There is a cause for sure. If maybe human being, or maybe some object, or maybe some, I don't know, something cause. So if it is, for example, let's say, say desire. If you got desire by looking at a very beautiful object, very beautiful, let's say a very expensive, beautiful bag for ladies. So if you have a very strong desire of buying it, so look at as I said, look at the cause. So bag, the bag, or the leather bag, or I don't know, whatever silk bag is made out of what, So silk itself doesn't exist. The leather itself doesn't exist. It's just a creation of your own mind. And then I doesn't exist. So who I am to get attached to this bag? You have to immediately check the cause. And then it's a depending, this bag made me arise the desire. So bag coming from where? Bag is what? Bag doesn't exist. Bag is just nothing. It's a dream again. We say illusion. It's a dream that is just out there, and then we are the one who think this bag is so solidly expensive, beautiful, wonderful, color is so nice. I don't know, the feeling is so beautiful. I like this because the brand this brand is very famous, and then I don't know, it's a very expensive. If I carry this, people will like it, it's something like that. This all creation makes this bag so solid. And then on the top of that, I exist. I as a human being, with the identification, I like this bag very much. So this creation becomes so solid. That's why you have this desire. So when you have a strong emotion, as soon as you look into the cause, it is not there. Nothing exists actually. Bag doesn't exist. If someone is making you angry, the person who is there doesn't exist. It's a dream, like, okay. In the dream, as I said, in a dream, you have angry, you have happy, you have desire, you have hatred. When you open your eyes, what is there? Nothing is there, right? So similarly, we have to apply the remedy here. When you have strong emotion, if you can look directly into it, is a very good. I think it's the same method anyway. If not, then check the cause of it. And then you will understand the cause means, what actually cause you get angry, what actually makes you cause you, get the strong desire. It's again goes back to your own creation, your own mind. You thought that this is solid, this is real, this is so real, then how can I can't, how do you say, have, get attracted to this beautiful object? It's your own mind, it's not saying the object, the beautiful bag there is saying, I'm so beautiful, I'm so expensive, I'm so real, please take me, it's not saying that, it's just rubbish. Your mind is saying that. So we have to check the cause of it. Then I think you check and then see what happens. Then the strong desire or the whatever strong emotion will quilt immediately.
Okay.
This is, I have a experience with it. The second thought, I always say, so people like beginners like us, it's very difficult to, in the very first, when you have a very strong emotion, at that moment, it's very difficult. But at the second, after a second, have think about it. Let think about it. why I'm getting angry, why I'm getting desire, why I'm having so strong jealousy, hatred. Second thought, let's have a second right after that. And then that gives you some, the quint, or how do you say, the quilt. Then it disappear. Then it will disappear. Yeah, does it make sense? My answer.
Very much.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes very much sense. Thank you.
Okay, and then other question?
Yes, Jinsinla. I have a question about the self-visualization. I visualize Pema Sambhava appearing out of emptiness. I am Pema Sambhava with the two consorts on either side. But then invite the wisdom deities. Do they appear, do they come in front of me and then melt into me, or do they come and spread melt into me? And the wisdom deities, are they the Buddhas and Dakas and Dakinis? So I wanted to know how they come to melt into me.
How come?
How do the wisdom deities come?
Melting in the sense become inseparable. This all again, you are Pema Sambhava, you have to, there's a self-visualization, which is, we called it the Samaya deity, visualizing ourselves as a Samaya deity. And then we invite the wisdom deity from space, Guru Padma Sambhava, in the entourage, and then you become inseparable. When we say inseparable means, you can say melt. There's another way of saying melt. Guru Padma Sambhava melt into you and you become one. Oh, I think we normally use inseparable, So inseparable, when we say inseparable, means it's referring back to the emptiness. You see? It's not something, then something is melting. It's so solidly melting and then it becoming one. It's not like that. Then again, it's our concept, our dualistic concept. I, Padma Sambhava, so solidly exist here. And then the wisdom deity come from this space so solidly, and then that get melts, we have to put fire and then melt into you. I mean, that's a method. But then when we say inseparable, that has a very strong essence in it. When we say inseparable, how can it become inseparable, If it is solid, then it never can become inseparable. It's because of the emptiness. I also, Padma Sambhava, visualizing yourself, Padma Sambhava is, of course, relatively we are visualizing, but yet we have to apply the understanding of shunyata. Exist, yet it doesn't exist. You are Padma Sambhava, of course, you are Padma Sambhava very clearly, but it looks like a rainbow body, as I said, it's not your Padma Sambhava yourself, also not made out of flesh and blood like our human body is, or it made out of clay or diamond or precious jewels. No, it's, of course, it so clearly exists like the reflection in the mirror, yet it doesn't exist. And then the wisdom deity, same. When we invite the wisdom deity, Padma Sambhava comes from the spaciousness, from the Zambok quality with the entourage in front of you. Then also that is also not made out of anything. It's just a reflection in the mirror. It exists so clearly, at the same time, absence of its reality, absence of its solidity. So then these two can become inseparable. Because of the emptiness, because of the shunyata. Practice itself is the shunyata. We are practicing it. This is a union, we call it, Inseparable means union. Union of what? Union of exist and doesn't exist. Existing part is the visualization we are doing is the existing part. Becoming inseparable is the emptiness part. Because of the emptiness, we can become inseparable. So wisdom deity and the Samaya deity become inseparable. Yeah. So you can say melting. Of course, it becomes inseparable. You and Guru Padma Sambhava, the invited from the spaciousness, become oneness. Yeah. So then that's what we call it, the self-visualization. Okay, was it clear?
Yeah, okay, thank you very much.
So the main thing is we shouldn't have a very strong concept, or the concept of something real, the I really, then something is, then we become very fanatic, we become, then again then here we are practicing, then we already have a concept of I exist, solidly. So now we are becoming this deity, another solid, so it becomes double concept.
Yeah.
There's so many scolding from these great masters. If we don't know how to visualize all this properly, then we are making it double samsara. We are already in samsara. Now we are practicing and visualizing so many things. Then this become another solid thing. So that becomes double. So that's not good. That's why always we have to, main thing we have to understand is the shunyata, as I explained the other day. The shunyata means not completely empty. Shunyata means we exist, yet the absence of solidity, yet the absence of its own inherent kind of existence. That we have to always remember.
Yeah.
So by visualizing, we realize the understand, we improve the understanding of realization. We become less fanatic. We become more open, more flexible. In terms of, we become less dualistic concept will be minimizing. The fanatic concept, the conservative view of looking at the things, the solid attitude we have now will be minimizing by visualizing it. If that doesn't happen, means then we are doing something wrong. Something is wrong with our practice. That we have to always check properly. Okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Hi.
Other question? Yeah.
I have a question, Tingzin. Thank you. It's maybe a little bit complicated or a bit stupid, I don't know, but it's when you were talking about the absolute bodhicitta and the impurities, they're not they're not real in a way. They're, you might say, adventitious, or they're like everything else. They come and they go. But it's our clinging. I think you said it's our clinging that kind of keeps them going in a way. But why do we keep clinging? Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, if all phenomena are self-liberating, why don't the impurities and everything just self-liberate? Why do we keep clinging?
There's our mind. We are clinging.
Why can't we just self-liberate into Buddhas now,
Yeah, because of the clinging. We are clinging.
Yeah.
Ignorant mind is clinging,
Yeah.
So this is why we have good and bad, and I don't know, all this, the dualistic thing comes. So if we have something devotion, or we feel very good about it, because again we are clinging. So that's why we are liberated. It's within us. Again, it's our mind creation. We are clinging with it, so we have to remove it. As I said in the very first day, when we say enlightenment is not something we are expecting to gain something, all this nonsense. I say we have to remove the nonsense. So nonsense, the dualistic things, bad, good, samsara, nirvana, I don't know, all this full of the, I don't know, whatever we have, all this attitude we have in a day, if we have in our life. So this all remove. So it's not easy to remove, as you said, why we have to cling, why we have cling, we are clinging it. I don't know why we have to remove it. So it's not easy to remove, though.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
is it to do with the view? I mean, is it the view that keeps us clinging? Our wrong view. Yeah.
So very important to have a correct view in the beginning. Yeah, with the correct view, then we will work on it. We have the target. We know where we have to go. We know the destination. What we have to do. If you have a correct view, correct understanding, without any zigzag, then we work on it. Then, as I said, we have to. There are so many different methods to apply to really remove all this dualistic mind, all this concept, all this rubbish kind of nonsense things which is covering our reality, our bodhicitta mind, or the ultimate wisdom. So yeah, the correct view is very important in the beginning.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, other questions? I think that's about it. Yeah, you have any questions?
Tinzing, I've got a question. Exactly where in the practice do we start to burn the offerings? What page, what section, or what page do we actually, should we start burning them?
Page number with the translation. You are which text you are?
Yeah, the new one that we got today.
Oh, okay. Then page number. It's a Nolsang actually. You can burn from page number. Yeah, page number 35.
Okay, great. I thought it was there. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, from there you can start burning. Okay, so you have any question? Are there more questions? That's about it, yeah. And then they see you tomorrow. Yeah, I will let you. So we have an important. It's a puja, and tomorrow is the last day. So I haven't suggested yet. If I have to go to puja, then I will let you know in the group. If not, then I will try to continue, and then tomorrow we will talk about the sirkim and all these things anyway. Okay. Yeah. So have a good day, good time ahead, whatever, evening, morning, afternoon, and then yeah, see you tomorrow. Oh, let's dedication. We do one time. The Munlam. And now you have the translation of it. That's a good thing. Page number 85, the new text. Today's one, yeah? You all have it?
Just about.
Jumdende Dijin Shikwa Munam Dubegel Bola Shalse Hello Leta Lubrekin Egruai Deta Jamie Divin Namago and Jigden comes to Juan Jitashime Jibisi Jajing Jilalu Simidu Sotroni Giding Jing Ba Jidin comes to Jumara Magret Chida Shinje Kana Zubata Gaming Samata Petra Chimbi Jebata Dabim so Lucian Gunan Paramagret. The big don't try it, Lubri Josum Gatujuda. She gets a genie lasso by Lucian Gunats or Margaret. Lucimen Deva Maluto Jepe, Jumje to pay doing Jimba. Maluji Danto Dengurne, sitting with the gate and barret. Lama Conchonam Gitu Zeta, Kandu Chigon Sumi to Dota, Lejelo me paid and dogi, Mulam Chitareta Badu Guriji. Karma Rabri Marmedan Gumaz Shuburda Milamalokan Jinda Duche Chunam Deda. Okay, see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.